how did your background in the kind of businesses that you've been in, that you've started, and that you've run, inform the way you think about AI now?
Yeah, no, and I think Kerry, having built three CPU companies I mentioned, configure, price, quote, but they are all
Yeah,
about flows. A lot of people talk about in that area quote to cash workflows.
yeah,
And, with CPQ being able to generate an accurate quote, but then workflow that for pricing approvals, convert it to an order, contract, and then ultimately have that all drive your fulfillment. But in any enterprise, that's a lot of workflows, a lot of functions, people that have to touch the quote and order to make sure it's valid and then obviously delivered accurately on time for the customer. And I do think that's where the massive opportunity is for AI. And I'm actually here in Las Vegas this week. There's the ServiceNow Connect conference, and you might have seen
mm,
yesterday, Bill McDermott, the CEO of ServiceNow, was with Jensen Huang, the founder CEO of NVIDIA, and they were really announcing that ServiceNow now really is becoming an AI platform and also partnering with NVIDIA to enable enterprises to automate all their workflows with AI. And so I think that includes, and as I mentioned, ServiceNow just acquired a company, Logic, where I'm the executive chairman, and that was also a CPU company. But I think, and it really also is doing an AI first approach. But I do think now with AI, we can reimagine all these workflows, including quote to cash, and really have agents assist throughout the process and reduce the amount of especially tedious work that humans have to do. And I think that's what we all love about AI. And I think one of the things, like in a quoting process, nobody loves filling in forms. And sometimes, let's say to configure a quote, it might take, if it's a complex enterprise solution, let's say you're configuring a data center, you might need 500 or even 5,000 inputs, and no human likes kind of doing that manually. And now with AI, it can just make a recommendation and say, hey, Kerry, here's the best data center configuration for you. Here's the draft quote. Do you like it? Do you want to buy it? And so I think with AI, we can just streamline all these workflows, create much better user experiences, and get through the process much more efficiently. And so I think that's why everyone, is so excited, including everyone here at ServiceNow.
yeah. They're on the go-to-market side of things, where Sixth Sense exists in kind of automating a lot of go-to-market kind of practices. It's where I've spent my whole adult life, essentially. And one of the things that I've seen over time, so I was the VP of operations for a very people-centric business for a long time. And the amount of process loss you have from people just forgetting, not doing completely, not being capable of doing in many cases the things that are required of them. It's pretty staggering when you're the person in charge of those processes and trying to corral them and have them go as efficiently, as effectively as possible. And I think we get used to just how much waste there is, and we become inured to the fact that there are lots of things in the business that just leak money and time and resource that we don't really think or haven't really been able to think about the fact that maybe none of that's necessary, right?
Mm.
That we could be dramatically more efficient. When I look at, in Sixth Sense with our customers, the biggest issue we have with our customers is the same issue I had when I was running a third-party teleservices organization. It's that the people who have access to prospects who we know are clearly in market simply don't follow up on them.
Mm.
Just there's a thing to be done, but stuff comes up. They get pulled in other directions. It's not always or even often neglect. It's
Mm.
it's competing priorities. It's lack of skill, or it's a process that's broken and doesn't deliver the thing the way it's supposed to. And so all kinds of things that should be happening don't happen. It seems to me that that's really, even in go-to-market, where we have a tremendous ability to rethink really everything that we're doing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think in go-to-market, and traditionally we have relied on humans, SDRs, BDRs, sales reps. And you're right, they don't always follow up, right? Especially they don't always follow up in real time.
Yep.
And so I think in go-to-market specifically with AI, and I think we actually use the Sixth Sense agent also, because one of the basic challenges is, G2, we might get a hot lead, but you're right, sometimes no one follows up. Or also, I think the other opportunity with AI is actually to make better follow-up.
Hmm.
The other challenge we've all had to go to market, we all tend to hire junior people, maybe fresh out of college to be our SDR, BDRs to do that initial follow-up, but
Yeah.
we don't oftentimes have all the business context, on all your customers and all your prospects. So, and I think we get a lot of these, frankly, sort of lame emails, either in response to an inquiry we submit or just, outreach emails that don't have enough context to really resonate, with us as executive leaders. And I think that's a massive opportunity. And I think we've seen that, like I said, at G2, we have used your 6 Sense agent, and nice thing, it can be in the voice of our CMO, Sydney Sloan. She's a
Yeah.
brilliant CMO, and we can train the agent to follow up for Sydney in real time. And I think that's always been also a challenge in, follow up. I think there's all these studies like, hey, if you follow up within 1 minute, 5 minutes, and you do a
Yeah.
high quality follow up that has all the context, answers, relevant to that prospect's inquiry, then your odds of conversion go up, 10x, 100x. So I think it's both the process automation, but the quality,
Hmm.
the speed. And I think AI is one of those magical things in process improvement. Usually people say there's like a trade-off between like quality, cost, and speed. But with AI, you sort of get all three. You can get
Right.
quality, go to market follow-up. It's faster, it can be real time, and it's more efficient. And I think that's why everyone is so excited about the transformative power of AI.